after she got married to him, what happened to him on his wedding night? And me him spend it with? You know? So people from the east threw their babies, their small children over the wall and said, take care of them, take them. And he packed his things, déjà vu. I was like, what did I miss here? And then, okay, my arms. Das war echt unbeabsichtigt. I said, okay, that's it. That's it. No more Jamaica. Let's go back to Germany. No.
So was she from the same city? Was she from Bielefeld?
Yep. And suddenly he gave me an even bigger lick. I mean, hello, getting married behind my back.
Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mel, and you already know, once you see mommy, you know it's story time. So as you can see, we have like a new kind of background going on. This will be the new set for story times. You know, we're stepping up our game, we're stepping up slowly but surely. But yeah, you can just take it away, Mom.
Disclaimer. The stories that I'm going to tell in this series are my experience, my truth, and my point of view over the past 38 years that I have been in Jamaica. And it's in no way intended to slander any person, the culture of Jamaica, or the island as a whole. Okay. Welcome, Mel's Lovelies, and she brought popcorn already.
Yes, I got my popcorn going on right now.
Oh God, poor me.
Okay.
Yes, so today's story time, I would like to give a little tribute to my mommy, because she was the lady that always supported me and was always having my back when things went wrong. And although that might be self-understood for a lot of people, of course, but in her case, when I was 1 year old, she lost her husband, my father. He had a stroke, and after that she never really remarried or had other children, so I'm the only one for her. And therefore my decision to move to Jamaica for her was of course really hard to grasp, because I mean, your only daughter and your
only child left.
Exactly, and your grandchildren, because I remember at that time I had my 2 sons, and then later on Mayumi, and she would be so far away from us, so it was very, very hard for her to a degree to just accept it and still be open to my plans and my wishes and my life, and not trying to blackmail me in any way to stay home or anything. So I was really extremely grateful for that, and I admired her for her strengths there too. But what she decided then eventually is to come visit every year. And she wouldn't just come visit for like about 2-3 weeks, she would stay about 3 months. She would always come in like in the beginning of January and stay until after her birthday, which was the 12th of March. And so to the end of March, and that became a habit for us. Every year mommy would come to Jamaica for about 3 months, and we all enjoyed it and we all had a good time with it. For her, the first time coming was of course a huge adventure, because she had never been on an airplane. She had never been further than Austria or Switzerland in Europe from Germany,
which is like
neighboring countries. And I mean, basically for all of us coming from Germany to Jamaica, we fly half around the globe. I mean, we're talking what, 6,000 something miles. So for her, that was the first adventure, and then just coming and seeing how I lived and get to know the country and its people. She could speak English pretty good because after the World War II, she was working as a translator for the British Army in her hometown. So she didn't have a problem to communicate with the people. And she was really falling in love with Jamaica pretty quick, like me. And saying, oh, I like it here and wonderful. And she felt actually much healthier here as well because she had a lung problem, and in Germany she had a hard time breathing. And here with the closeness to the sea and the climate and everything, it got much easier for her.
It opened up her
It
airways
opened up the airways and everything. So she was actually healthier here than over in Europe. But I couldn't keep her here. She wanted to go back to her apartment. She wanted to go back home, meet her friends and so on. So I said, all right, we have you here 3 months, and then basically what we try to do too is go to Germany once a year, like in the summer holidays or so with the children. So she would have a little bit more time with us. But throughout one of the visits she had here, I mean, she had a lot of adventures here too, and just discovering the new world. And then even in the beginning with my husband and him playing music in the hotels, we would go with him, and then she was like sitting at the bar sipping on a cocktail and listening to my husband's music, and she kind of felt, wow, that's it, you know, that's life. So she loved that. And I have another very vivid memory of her. When we lived in Norwich, that's where at the time we are now at about spring or beginning of the year of 1989. We were living in Norwich still, and we decided on a beautiful full moon night to have a picnic on the beach. So we cooked our little food, packed it up, and then my mommy, Lou, my children, our dogs, and me went to the beach. And spread out our blanket and sat down, started to eat. And then Lou would suggest to her, seeing that she had this lung problem, we had been talking about that from before, if she didn't want to try a little herb to clear up her airways. And I have to say to that none of us in the family was, my mother was a heavy smoker. She smoked cigarettes like crazy, which she had to stop because of her lungs, but basically she loved to smoke. I am a complete non-smoker. I mean, never wanted to smoke a cigarette in my entire life. I saw too many people with that and getting addicted, and for me it was like, can put my money in some better ways. And of course I personally did try ganja, but it was, for me, it was not really all that. So I'm one of the person who live in Jamaica where you find that all over the place, and I'm not smoking. So, and Lou was not a person either who would, I mean,
didn't smoke?
Once in a while, not often. I mean, I don't even recall seeing him smoking any of it. But he still suggested to my mommy, and he had brought a little something. And at first she was like, but then sitting at the beach, and it was so nice and relaxing, and we had a little rum punch with us and stuff. So she decided, okay, I'm going to try it. And I mean, she being a used and big heavy duty smoker, for her it was nothing to inhale and keep it, and she didn't even cough. I was like, whoa, mommy, you're good. And then we were sitting and continuing to talk and eat and drink, and the children were up and down the beach and stuff. And then my mother said, but I don't feeling anything. What you gave me there, that is nothing. I don't feel anything. And then she looked up to the sky and said, but the moon is so pretty. And the way she said it, I knew she was high like crap, you know? And she would insist that she didn't feel anything. But come with these comments, you know. Oh, see this light on the water there, isn't that beautiful? And the wind, it is so wonderful. And lo and me, we were cracking up, you know. We were just sitting there and cracking up. Yes, mommy, you don't feel nothing. No way. You know, and it was such a funny experience. We had a really good time at the beach with her and with that. And generally, it was a wonderful evening. So that is a beautiful memory I have of my mommy. And well, there will be some more stories, I guess, where she is kind of involved. So I'm not going to that now because that will be in the future. So let's continue that. We went the same summer, where was I?
89.
89, sorry. Way forward already. We went to Germany again, and this time we only could get a flight that would stop over in Cuba, in Havana, for 2 nights.
Who went to Germany?
That was Lou, the children, and me, basically. So we were, 5 people? Like a family. And we ended up in one of those really old-fashioned hotels in Havana. I mean, really beautiful. It's like so royal, you know. They had these dark green walls, and then they had chandeliers all over the place, and it was amazing. The rooms were very simple, but I mean the hall when you came in was like what. And of course we didn't stay in the hotel the whole time, so we grabbed the children and walked out and wanted to explore a bit.
Havana?
Yeah, Havana. I just had it on my son. I'm getting senile or something. Anyhow, Havana. And there was a park right across the road. And we walked out of the hotel and we didn't even reach that park yet when we were stopped by police. And we were like, what the heck is going on? Of course, they speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I speak French, but I don't speak Spanish. I can kind of guess what you want, but So we told him, and Lou especially, they were kind of pointing on him and talking to him. And he was, but I don't understand Spanish. And then this realized that he was not a Cuban. And then they switched to English. They could speak a bit of English and said, oh, we need your passport, passaporte. And we, yeah, im Hotel, sorry, haben wir nicht.
Deutsch.
And we said, oh, it's in the hotel, sorry, we don't have it with us. And the okay, mein Aus. Das war echt unartig. Oder willst du das drin lassen, Linda? Sorry, I switched to German. Oh, okay, so we said we don't have it. All our papers are in the hotel, so they actually really followed us to the hotel. We had to go up to the room, bring down the passports and show them. And once they saw Lou's Jamaican passport, they were satisfied. And they said, oh, carry passport. And we said, okay. And then we took all our passports with us and walked out again. And seriously, we just reached the park and were walking around a bit. Next police stopped us. And that would be going on constantly. Every time they saw a black man with me and my children, they would think, oh, it's a Cuban trying to get close to us, harass us, whatever. So the amount of time he had to show his passport, you wouldn't believe. So we kind of got like, my God, this is is a nuisance to walk, and then you get stopped every 5 minutes. So we went back to the hotel. Of course, the next day we came back out, but that was not such a pleasant
So was it that
experience.
they just didn't want...
They don't want Cuban people to mingle with
Tourists.
and for them I was clearly a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
And with but even I mean, is one black man, a white woman, and two white children and one mixed picnic. So I mean, they could have even kind of figured, although Mayumi is not Lou's child, but she was at least mixed.
Well,
you know,
you can see that she.
Of course, when that time she was pretty brown and stuff. So and in Cuba they have a lot of blonde people, you know, a lot of blonde people with light eyes and light skin. But for them he was like a perpetrator or something. So it was not that nice to walk in the streets, although the Havana at that time, it's many years ago of course, I don't know how it is now, but the buildings there, they were fantastic, they were fabulous. This old Spanish colonial style, but everything very, very run down because nobody had money and stuff. So I was really impressed also with the atmosphere of the town. I mean, very, very nice. Anyhow, after the 2 days we flew out over to Europe, came to my hometown, spent a few weeks there where I mentioned from before that Lou had made quite a few friends in the time he was over when we were living there for the year. So he was on the road a lot of times, meeting here and meeting there, and so I didn't think about it too much, nothing unusual. And then after the few weeks we returned back to Jamaica, everything back to normal. Our problem at that time was that we didn't really reach any further with our plans to build a guest house or build. It was so hard, we didn't find anything after the flop at Winifred Beach, where the government did not allow us to get electricity and water. We were looking around hard and it was almost impossible to find anything, but I still didn't give up because I wanted to live in Jamaica and I wanted to be there, so I was still on it. So time passed and it was about, I would say, what happened that same year, that in '89, that was October, when the Berlin Wall fell in Germany. I remember that vividly because my mommy called me from Germany at the same time. Oh, you hear that the wall fell? And she was so happy. Everybody was happy, was partying, and yeah, finally the East and the West are coming back together. Thank God and stuff. So that was one big happening for all of us. Even I was here. For me, it was like, wow, that is. Because I actually, as a child, saw how that wall was built. I was 6 years old, and that is the very first memory I have in my childhood of anything really politically and otherwise really, really heavy duty, because I saw, at that time we had a little black and white TV. And what I saw with 6 years old never left me. Up to this day I have these pictures in my head. How they built the wall in the middle of Berlin, right through the town, and in the end when it reached a certain height, people from the east threw their babies, their small children, over the wall and said, take care of them, take them. I mean, that for me that was so horrible at the time that I have these pictures still in my mind up to this day. So now this wall falling after, what is it, 61 to 89?
Quick maths.
Yeah, 28 years was the thing, and it really, really impressed me at the time too. I was feeling very strongly about it. And that was one of the highlights in that point of time. Then a little after, it was like in November, I think. Yeah. Something weird happened. It was like Lou changed. He changed. You know, he was funny. you know, and I didn't know what it was, and we weren't quarreling, we weren't having real problems. He was like a bit changed.
He was acting weird.
Yeah, he was acting not like he acted before. And from one day to the other, suddenly he started a big quarrel in the afternoon. One big, I don't even know what he used to start a quarrel. I mean, huge. He got completely aggressive and loud, and he didn't touch me or anything, but he was like, and shouting and telling me all kind of things. I don't even remember what, because it was so like, what's going on? What is wrong with this man suddenly? And he packed his things, déjà vu. He packed his things and literally left. He left the house. And when I looked, there was practically nothing left of him, only things he wouldn't use anymore. He had his papers, he had everything with him. And I was like, what did I miss here? What is going on? So at that time, I always used to go to the Huntress Marina downtown, where I had some friends down there. That was my cool out spot. I always used to be there, and I went down there, and one of the guys who were living on a boat anchored out in the harbor, he knew our family since we came, and we were friends and stuff. So he would come. I was sitting in the bar area of the Huntress Marina, and I think I had a beer or something, and then he came and he saw my face, and he saw that my face was not very happy. So he said, "What's wrong with you, Sabina?" And I told him, because seeing that we knew each other since a long time. And he looked at me and said, "But Sabina, didn't you know?" I said, "Know what?" "Didn't you know that Lou got married?" I said, "What?" "Yeah," he said, "about what was it, last week? There was this German girl coming and he got married to her." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yes, she came flying over just to get married to him, and then she left back out." And I was again, "What?" I was completely shocked. And as I recalled, after, when I got some more information, because of course I started to ask around and figure out, and everybody told me the same thing. I said, "Oh, yeah man, him got married last week, you know." And I was like, seriously, I was absolutely and totally clueless, because he came home. He was home every night. He must have spent his wedding night in our house. So, I was really absolutely clueless. And when he now started to go on like that and pack his thing and go, I was like, oh, wow. That was the reason why he started that quarrel, because he needed a reason to leave. Because without it would have been even more illogical, you know? But anyhow, it really, really, of course, hit me hard. Because
so when he left, did he leave the country as well, or did he just leave?
He went to
the
Germany.
House?
He left the house, and the same day he flew out to Germany. Everything was set up, ticket was set up, everything. And at that point in time, it was easy to go to Germany. You didn't need a visa yet. You didn't need what is needed nowadays, like speaking German, this, that, and the other. Just boom, gone. He set it up very, very, very thoroughly. I mean, Lou was a person, I found out that from before, he was an excellent liar. I mean, excellent. No, when I say excellent, most time when people lie to you, after a while you find out, right? Because they contradict themselves, or they tell you a different story, or him, never. Consistent. Because I'm not an idiot neither, you know. When I see something wrong, I'm asking you, because my intuition told me from before certain things might have gone wrong. So me ask him over and over and over, and I got back the same response again and again and again. And I said, well, he is not tripping, he is not changing anything, so probably it's really true what he's telling me. Yeah, like everything is alright, and I love you, and this and that. So this whole thing was, for me, it was like, I couldn't believe. And of course, it really, really brought me down. Because first of all our plans didn't really work out, and then this thing here happening now, and being alone again in this country with now 3 children. And I was like, okay, what to do? And to be honest, at that point in time, I really got completely and totally fed up with Jamaica. Fed up. Because of the human point, you know? I mean, how can somebody who you have been with for practically 3 years, 3.5 years, how can he just do something like that to you? And it's not like, I mean, I'm not a person who is not self-critical. So of course I would look and say, what did I do wrong? But honestly, I didn't know, because we had a basically good relationship. We didn't, once in a while we quarrel, of course, like every couple does. But I mean, nothing heavy.
So was it, did he ever like mention to you before that, oh, I don't really want to stay in Jamaica, or I would rather live abroad? Or was there like any signs that showed you that he really wanted to leave Jamaica and not live here?
He had mentioned his desire maybe to go back to Germany, yes, but it was never in the sense that strong. Like that he would say, oh, I can't stand it here anymore, I want to go somewhere, let's go back to Germany, let's do this, let's do that. Nothing like that. But he was like intrigued with Germany, wanted to go back at one point in time for sure, you know, but it was nothing pressing at the time.
Okay.
So I was not aware that his wish was really that strong, that he would play this whole game and this farce of even bringing over this woman and getting married to her without my knowledge, behind my back. I mean, that takes some kind of planning, you know. But I mean, he was an excellent liar.
So did you find out who the woman was?
I found out later, yeah, who she was. I didn't know her. I didn't know her. No. It was like he must have met her sometime when we were in Germany, and well, he's a very charming guy and a good-looking guy. Of course, he had no problem to win her heart.
So was she from the same city? Was she from Bielefeld?
Yeah, he met her in Bielefeld. So that's why I said he must have met her when we were there. Even I don't know if he met her even before that, but the last time he must have practically finalized his plans to get married to her, because I mean, after we came back to Jamaica, it only took 2 or 3 months until all these things were set up and he got married.
So do you think she knew about you and your relationship with you?
I'm not sure. I never found out that part. But he must have had some excuse, because he couldn't be with her very much at the time. Because, as I was saying, he was home normally. It's not like suddenly he was missing for a few days, or he wouldn't come home at night or stuff. Nothing like that. Everything was all normal.
He spent every night with you?
Yeah. So even when I figured it out after she got married to him, what happened to him on his wedding night? Me him spend it with? You know? So I was almost sorry for her, you know.
That's crazy though.
Yeah, that was really, really bad. And it kind of licked me in a way that I said, okay, that's it, I'm going to pack my things, or sell my things and pack and go. I don't want to be in Jamaica anymore. I cannot stand it anymore. The people here, you cannot trust anybody in this country, because of course in all the time I have been there, a lot of people have disappointed me as well, because I mean, there's always a situation where people try to get things from you and try to cheat with simple thing. Go to the market as a white woman and ask for the prices. They are always higher than for locals. I mean, up to this day, honestly, most people know me by now in Port Antonio, of course, but up to this day I avoid to go and shop myself in the markets and stuff. I send other people that are Jamaican. I say, you do that for me. I don't want to pay white people price. You know? And then it starts there and goes on and on and on. Like the story with my husband, of course, the story with that happened before, and now this person here that seemed to have been so much different, and suddenly he gave me an even bigger lick. I mean, hello, getting married behind my back? That's a big one, you know? So I was really, really so disappointed in the whole thing here. I mean, people, place, not able to make the business that I wanted to make. So I said, okay, that's it. That's it. No more Jamaica. Let's go back to Germany. No. Which now was not that possible. I had to sell everything because by that time we had the house with furniture in it, and I had my car, and of course I needed to take care of packing away and giving away whatever could be given away, because I only carried my suitcases for my things and my children things. So I asked my mother to please book me the tickets. I'm coming. Mommy, I'm coming home.
Mommy, rescue me again, please.
Not really rescue, but I said, Mommy, I'm coming home. We can't stay here anymore. Me fed up. I'm going to come home to stay. Haha. And that's the next story. How or how not I stayed.
How not you stayed, right? Because clearly I'm an end product.
Yeah. An end product.
End product of that decision.
And some years later too.
An end product of that decision of how she did not want to stay in Jamaica anymore.
So, see you next time.
Bye. Bye.